Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back. In this video, we are looking at the 8-game NBA slate that we have on tap for tonight. So let's get started. As always, appreciate if you guys hit the like button down below, subscribe if you haven't already. You can check out the website, links in the description. Follow me on Twitter for updates at the DFS process. And without further ado, let's get started. So there's a lot to touch on because there's quite a bit of questionable players on the slate that's going to definitely shake things up. So be sure to mention them as we get through each game, and then be sure to touch on what other guys will benefit if those questionable players are out. So first game we have is the Mavs against the Hornets. The Dallas Mavericks are going to be getting Kristaps Porzingis back tonight. He hasn't played basketball in a very long time, so he's going to be severely limited. And I'm definitely not interested in paying $8,400 for him because I don't expect him to play too much. But that is definitely going to take some usage away from Luka Doncic. And the Mavericks just need all the help they can get in terms of bodies because they're still going to be without Richardson, Finney-Smith, and now Maxi Kleber is out as well. So they're going to be pretty thin on bodies. I think that makes like James Johnson a pretty solid option at only $3,900. Going to have to play quite a bit of minutes without Kleber. Might even probably won't start because they'll probably start Porzingis and Willie Cauley-Stein in the front court. But he should see good minutes off the bench and probably in the mid-20s. Definitely a fine price tag for him to hit value. So he's the piece that I do think I like on the Dallas side. Cauley-Stein is gonna play decent minutes, but probably in the mid-20s as well. But I just think that James Johnson looks like a little bit better of a play. So definitely consider James Johnson tonight. Definitely not. I think you can play Luka if you want to. He's not that expensive at 10.8, but I'm just gonna see how Porzingis being back is gonna affect him a bit, and then Hardaway's up to 69 with Porzingis returning. It's gonna be tough for him, I think, to hit value, and then Burke is up to 49, so he's not, no longer of a core piece. On the Charlotte side, you want to consider LaMelo Ball. He's been playing out of his mind the last week and a half. He put up 44.5 DraftKings points, even though he just shot 3 of 13. Just shows you how much upside this kid has. Even if he's not hitting shots, he's gonna hit value. 2 out of his last 3 games, he shot under 37%, and he managed to put up north of 40 DraftKings points. So he's gonna be a guy that I'm gonna be considering, even though he's $7,200, just because he gives you so much upside. I think he looks better than Hayward. Hayward also is in play, but he's a little bit more scoring dependent. Like, if he's not scoring 20, 30 points, it's probably not going to get a value game out of him. So I'd rather go LaMelo Ball. He gives you more upside in the rebounds and assists department, also at $600 cheaper. And then I'm not that interested in anybody else on the Charlotte side. Like, Washington is 63. That's kind of where he should be. Biombo's 42. I guess he's can be played, but I just don't think it gives you that high of a ceiling. Moving on to the next game, feels like the Bucks and Pistons play every other day. They're playing again tonight. I think this might be their third meeting already. I don't really have that much interest in this game because I don't like the Pistons here. Probably will get blown out. But Blake Griffin is $6,200. He definitely gives you some sort of upside here. He's definitely just a tournament play because this game can go south in a hurry, and he just hasn't been shooting the ball well this season. So he's a risky, but he's worth a look if you're playing 150 lineups. Giannis is 10.6. Definitely can capitalize on that price tag if you want to. I just think that there's some other guys I'd rather spend up on, or definitely go a little bit cheaper in the 7K range. You have quite a bit of options. Josh Jackson has struggled the last few games. His price tag is down to 4,500, so could be worth a shot, but maybe he's just kind of resorting back to the player that we thought he was when he was with the Suns. And then Holiday hasn't done too much this season whenever Giannis has played, so I'm not that interested at 6,900. This third game definitely has some appeal. You have the Brooklyn Nets and the New York Knicks. The Nets are going to be without Kyrie Irving once again, so that makes Kevin Durant already said he's going to play tonight. Just makes him such a nice option. He is $9,400. He should be north of 10K. Just gives you so much upside. He was 1 rebound shy of a triple-double last night, and just don't know why DraftKings has him at $9,400 again. Just a pretty smash option, I think, against the Knicks. You have Julius Randle, also priced pretty nicely at 9,100. I think he can run it back with Randle. Price tag has come down. For some reason, Tibbs only played him 30 minutes last game. They did end up losing by like 31 points or 21 points, but uh, usually they're seeing Randle play like 38, 40 minutes. But it was a back-to-back in that game, traveling also, so maybe they wanted to take it easy on Randle, but it should go back to playing just a boatload of minutes tonight against this Nets front court that does give up a lot of rebounds. They have been decent defensively in terms of like stopping three-point line and in terms of opposing three-point percentage, but overall they're still giving up 113 points per game. And Randle has just been the best player on the Knicks, most consistent player, even though last game, that was his worst game of the season. He hasn't dropped below like 24 fantasy points besides that game. He's always been in the 30s, 40s. We've seen a couple 60s out of him. So $9,100, I definitely think he's worth a look. And LeVert 8,000, I'm not that interested in that price tag. I think there's some better options. Payton is kind of priced up at 66, so I would rather go with Randle, whose price tag is kind of decreasing, whereas like we've seen Barrett's and Payton's kind of rise. So Randle looks to be a nice option in that game, as well as Durant. Next game, we have the Grizzlies against the Timberwolves. The Grizzlies still without services of John Morant. They have been playing, like, they've been trying to get their guys a little bit more minutes, but you're still seeing Kyle Anderson and like Dylan Brooks barely top 30 minutes, so that's kind of tough for them to hit value. Like, you can have a smash game, but like now that they have their guys back in terms of like Melton is back and like Grayson Allen, they've just been playing a lot of guys minutes, so it's a really good spot though. So you can definitely take advantage because this Minnesota team doesn't play defense, so you could see Jonas Valanciunas kind of go off, or maybe Brandon Clark. I do like Towns. If you want to pay up 98 instead of Randle, definitely can do that. And then with Cat back, it's just going to make Russell have a little bit less usage, and the Beasley at 67. I just don't think he's going to be able to get enough peripherals to kind of hit value. He's going to have to hit like all of his shots. So I think this game definitely has some appeal on the surface, but the price tags are kind of where they should be. So not seeing a ton that jumps off. Next game, the Lakers and the Thunder. Not a game I'm super interested in unless probably Davis or LeBron will rest on a back-to-back scenario. So if that's the case, both teams are on a back-to-back, so maybe we'll see some tired legs here. But you'll probably see like Kuzma, or they might start Morris. So I think Morris looks a little bit better at 33 if he does start. LeBron is 96. I'm still not that interested in a back-to-back situation. And then Shooter is 61, and then they did price Harrell is decent at 56, but not seeing a ton. Don't think that game is going to be super high scoring. Next up, we have the Hawks and the Suns. The Suns coming off of an absolute beating by the hands of the Wizards. They are still, the players on their team are still viable for DFS. It's always been tough to kind of get to them because, Booker doesn't have as much usage because Chris Paul has the ball in his hands quite a bit. And then DeAndre Ayton is just not getting a lot of looks. 10 shot attempts, 10, 9, 8. Just not getting enough looks for Ayton to kind of crush value. So, once again, I think I will pass on the Suns. I haven't been getting to them very much. Last time I did get to Cam Johnson, I'd probably go with one of the cheap wings like Johnson, who does give you some upside. Shot terribly, but has been doing a lot better this season. So he looks appealing. And then on the Hawks side, Capella is questionable, so that would make Collins a really nice play if Capella sits. You could look to Hunter. You could look to Cam Reddish because just get those guys get a little bit more used to moving down a position. So this game definitely has some appeal depending on the Capella news. Next up, we have the Pelicans and the Clippers. In this game, you have Bledsoe questionable, so that would mean you could see J.J. Redick jump into the starting lineup or Alexander Walker, so they would be decent value options. Lou Williams is only $4,600. Really nice price tag, but he just hasn't been consistent this season for DFS purposes, so he's always just a tournament option. Lonzo Ball has been ruled out of this contest, so that is just going to make Bledsoe look a lot better if he does happen to suit up. If Bledsoe is not able to play tonight, then you're just going to see Walker have to play a lot. Probably get the startup point guard tonight in place of Lonzo Ball. And then you'll see Brandon Ingram be a lot better of an option at 8,500 just in terms of getting a ton more usage. Zion also looks appealing at 73. So Zion and Ingram will definitely benefit without Lonzo in there, but Walker is probably the value play that you want to get to at only 3,100. And then you also have like Marcus Morris Sr. has been coming off the bench, but Batum has seen a little bit less minutes the last couple games. Played 25 last time out. Matter of time before he starts over Batum, and it could even be a nice option off the bench. He's cheap, gives you some upside, and yeah, it's a really good spot. A fast-paced matchup against the Pelicans. Think there's a decent amount to like at that price tag. And then if Bledsoe is, like I mentioned, if Bledsoe's in, I think he looks like a nice option. If he's out, then definitely you can look to like JJ Redick and Walker, play both of them together. Last game, we have the Blazers and the Sacramento Kings. The Kings are at home in this game. De'Aaron Fox is only $7,400, and I liked that he played 38 minutes last game, so I don't have to worry about them still managing his hamstring soreness. Shot 19 times, was super aggressive, only made 7 of them, but I'm still waiting for that big 60-point outing for De'Aaron Fox. I think it's a good spot for him to kind of capitalize on that against a Portland team. So give me Fox tonight at 7,400. He's my favorite play on the Kings, especially when you have like Hield at 65 and Barnes at 67. Not a ton to get to. And then Holmes is probable, so that just kind of takes away some of the value there. Also, another questionable piece is Nurkic. If he is out, then Cantor will be a nice option. You can plug him in at center. Plug him in. I'll definitely play Enes Kanter over like Johnson if Nurkic is out. Plug him in at utility spot as well. So that's a quick rundown of this 8-game slate. Thank you guys for watching. Let's go over to the Fanduel side. All right, over here on Fanduel, starting off at the point guard position, we have Luka checking in at 11.3. I'm just not going to be able to get to that price tag with Porzingis back. I do like the price tag on Damian Lillard. He's probable with the ankle injury. Maybe that designation keeps some people off of him, but that's a really nice tag. Trae Young has a nice salary as well at 8,800. LaMelo Ball looks appealing. Fox looks appealing. A lot to like at the point guard spot. I think it does make sense to pay up for 2 point guard options. It also makes a little bit of sense to go cheap because you do have like some of the Pelicans pieces be a nice value option here. See if is Walker a shooting guard? That would be nice. Looks like Walker is a shooting guard option. So, out of the point guard options, I think I still like the price tag on De'Aaron Fox at 73. Gives you a lot of upside. Shooting guard, you have McCollum has been killing it. Still 92 is definitely a tough price tag to kind of eat. Just for years of playing McCollum and just having him be the same price tag as Lillard, it's always been easier to get. It's always been Lillard to kind of pay up for. So it's kind of weird seeing them at the same price tag. They put Tim Hardaway at shooting guard now, but still not that interested at 68. You have Halliburton as a decent option. Buddy Hield is only 5,000. Like that's a nice tag on FanDuel. Reddish, now he's shooting guard. FanDuel keeps changing the positions of players. 45 for Reddish looks nice. He started last time out in place of Bogdanovic, and wasn't great, but gonna play like 30 minutes, especially. And if Capella's out, that just helps even more. But Alexander Walker is definitely the play at $3,800. Small forward, we have Durant 10-1. He's nicely priced on DraftKings, a little bit more expensive on FanDuel, but I really don't care. Without Kyrie, we saw all the usage he's going to absorb. It's a great spot. So Durant looks nice. Same thing with Brandon Ingram. Grant's been killing it, but 83 against the Bucks is definitely a tough price tag, so I'll pass on that. RJ Barrett looks appealing at 63 a bit. He's kind of cooled off a little bit. And then we can look to like a bit cheap option here. Maybe you can take a flyer on a Josh Jackson. Maybe you can take a flyer on like a Bridges. But probably there's not that many cheap options. Knox had his best game of his life, basically, last time out. But I'm definitely not going to be chasing Kevin Knox. So, not that deep of a position. Probably one to spend up on. I think Hayward looks nice at 78. Next up, we have, at power forwards, we have Giannis. 11,000 is going to be a little bit tough to get to. I like the price tag on Julius Randle at 91. John Collins looks like a smash option if Capella sits. Blake Griffin is only 61. Tournament option. But yeah, definitely the matchup is scary. Definitely not touching $5,300. Nick Batum. Covington's not been that appealing in terms of DFS, but 48 is a nice tag to take a shot on that. Johnson looks fine at 42. I think you couldn't take a flyer on Marcus Morris at only 38. I think it's a spot to spend up a bit. Randall looks nice at 91. Then center, you have one guy to spend up for, and that's Karl Anthony Towns, 10-5 against the Grizzlies. Definitely can crush that salary. So if you have the cap, definitely can go up to him. If Nurkic is out, you can plug in Enes Kanter at 53. That looked really nice. You have Holmes is probable, so if he somehow kind of gets downgraded, maybe you can take a shot on like Whiteside, but he hasn't been playing when Holmes has been active in most games. So, a spot where we're just probably going to have to wait and see with the injuries. I do think DeAndre Ayton at only 67 is worth a shot, so I'll just have him penciled in here. But if Nurkic is in, I like him more. If Nurkic is out, then you can plug in Cantor. You can maybe take a shot on Horford. So yeah, that's kind of it for this Wednesday breakdown. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and best of luck tonight.